Hello and welcome to another episode of Sandy Killer Projects. Today we're going to look at our brand new 2023 Honda Passport Trailsport with the 3.5 liter V6 engine. We may as well start up front on the car. Since it is a Trailsport, it's got the Trailsport badging in the front grille. Otherwise, most of the front look is going to look very similar to any other Passport you see on the road. In the engine compartment, this is the 3.5 liter V6 that Honda has put out. This engine puts out 280 horsepower. It has a fuel mileage of 24 miles per gallon, and in the city it gets about 20. Averages about 22 total. You can squeeze it out to about 28 if you're careful using the Econ mode. They've made a very clean design here in the engine bay. Everything is tucked in and clean with covers. It's very smooth looking. You see hardly any mechanical stuff. Although me being an old school car guy, like I'd love to see big carburetor and whatnot, but on a modern car this is a very clean setup. Fuse panel, intake setup, another fuse and relay panel, washer fluid, brake fluid in the back. Everything is very neat, orderly, clean. Check your oil dipstick, fill your oil with the cap right there. Everything is set up fairly simple. No gas struts for a higher end car like this. I would think they'd have gas struts, but it's still got a prop. Still very nice. Getting into the passenger compartment, one of the features that I actually really dig in this car is it automatically resets to whichever driver's key is near the vehicle. I currently have it with my wife's key, and she is very short, so the seat automatically moved up to her position. This has a setting to set one driver or two drivers. Very simple, easy to set up. All you have to do is tell it you want it to go to the second driver, and the seat moves back into position. As I mentioned in the short format video, this is a Trailsport, so with it being a Trailsport, it has the stitching built into the seat. It also has the baseball style stitching along the leather interior, and it's on the floor mats. Just taking a look at the interior of the cabin, it is very spacious. All of the seats have the captain style seat. For the driver's side, it has a ratchet mechanism, which you could kind of hear there for a second. It goes down to full position, but if you want it partly up, it will stop in multiple different spots, and then you have to go all the way up to clear it and then bring it back down. As for the door, you have a lift gate button here, and this is the only way to get into your gas door. Then you have your hood release here, and this has an old school manual parking brake. You step on it to lock it, and you step on it again to release it. Alright, so looking at some of the features on the left side of the dash, these are all your controls for the active driving features. This one turns off your traction control. This one turns off your lane departure warning. This one turns off your where it jams on the brakes if you get too close or you're not paying attention to the car in front of you. I believe this one is for the rear windshield wiper heater, and this is your backup parking beep warning. This one up here sets your rear view mirror setups. You can also tilt your mirrors in by hitting the button on the side to make sure that nobody ends up crashing into your mirrors. This also right here is your Econ mode. Your Econ mode is the button that you hit to sneak more gas mileage out of it. The car has a fully digital display in behind the driver's steering wheel. This has all sorts of modes and features and stuff that you can set or look at. There are quite a few different ones. This one just gives you your trip. Cool features on this car is it has a thing where it actually tells you if each of the seat belts are buckled in your display. Once the seat belts are buckled and it realizes there's a person inside of the vehicle, it will actually turn those lights off to let you know that everybody is in and locked in. I'm currently locking my seatbelt right now. Now it shows that since I'm the only one with weight on the seat, that my seatbelt is locked. On the steering wheel, you have your hands-free buttons for your cell phone that's connected to it. It also has your navigation through the menus. On this side are your cruise control settings. Fairly simple, except for this one has a lane departure assistance that's built into the cruise control that will close up the distance. You turn this on and off by hitting this button. All the models above the Sport come with a sunroof. Controls for the sunroof are in between your dome light right here. To open and close it with this, and this is your dome light control. If you want to individually turn on the dome lights, all you do is push them. If you want to open up the sunroof, first you pull back the slide and look up into the sky. You push this switch backwards and it fully opens the sunroof with touch, or you can stop it by pushing the control back the other direction. You can close it by pushing it all the way towards the closed position, or if you take the button and push, it will do the tilt feature that allows the back to open. And then again, you tap it forward to close it. This is a bit of a weird angle, but this is looking at the bottom of the rearview mirror. On the bottom of it, it has three buttons for garage door opening access, and then this is for the auto dimming feature on the rearview mirror. If you hit it, it will turn the power off so that it doesn't automatically dim when it sees headlights on it. If you leave it on, when headlights are shined directly into it, it will sense that and dim down. Okay, so on this, the H for the Honda comes up here when it first starts, but I didn't quite catch that. I did catch it on this one though. As the center screen is loading up, it goes through a Honda display. In this, it has a very Windows 10 kind of feel with the buttons that easily move around, multiple screen displays where you can go from each item that's on the vehicle. There's even like a simple setting screen that gets you into all of the connections and functions within the vehicle itself. You can from the home mode, you can also sync your phone, you can set a trip. This one has navigation. It has a full Garmin system built in. You can tie your Apple phone or your Android into this car and also use it along with this, but this has a full built-in navigation system in it, so it's not necessarily something that's required. You can also use your phone features. It'll sync all your contacts like it would with any of the cars that are set up like this. It also has multiple USB jacks, which I'll show you those in a few minutes. You can also load up the Honda app or Sirius XM radio, which is very popular these days. And then it's just your clock features and Honda Link for some other functions that are within that. So just below the laptop looking area, that I call that touchscreen, there's your climate control. This car has a full sync setup, which I'll turn the car on and show you that. All right, so your climate control system, while it's off, the screen stays in the off position, but the minute you turn it on, it turns on in the last settings that you left it in. This one is set up for sync, so all of the climate areas are different. If you change one of the other actually I should rephrase, if you change the driver's climate area, it will change all of them as long as they are synced. If you hit the passenger one, it'll immediately change the climate zone in that area. Also, there are rear settings, and you can change the rear setting features, which won't change the forward settings. So I can turn up the settings on this one only, just for the rear. By hitting a button and working with those controls, I can change the temperature or the fan flow out of the back of that. Below that are the independent heated seats for the front. Then it has a power outlet that looks like the old school cigarette lighter, and then you have your phone USB charging cords inside of this one that charges at 2.5 amps. Also, this one comes with a wireless charging pad for your cell phone sitting right here. The features that this car has that I'm personally not used to. Instead of having a stick here that releases the car into whichever position, it has different buttons that do the different features. So if you want to go into reverse, you tap the button backwards, it puts the car into reverse. If you push down on this one, it puts the car into neutral. If you tap down on this one, it puts the car into drive mode. If you push it again, it sharpens up the throttle and makes the car move under much more horsepower. That is the sport mode. And then this one down here shuts off your the engine turn on and off as you come to stoplights. This button right here is a fun button, because when you hit this button, so by hitting that button, it opens up this menu. As you hit each button on the menus, it allows you to scroll through the different driving modes. Whichever one that's on is the one that's highlighted. As you can see, the sand one is the one that's currently highlighted. If I leave it alone and let it reset, it will change the driving mode down back to normal. If I set it for snow, it has a cool little graphic for snow, has a dirty one for mud, and then a lighter colored one that shows you for sand. I have to show this convenience feature from kind of an odd position, but when you get into the car at your seat settings, the seat will sit in one position further back from your regular home position. The reason why it does it is because when you power on the vehicle, what ends up happening is it actually moves you into your regular seat position. After you shut the car off and open up the door, it again moves back just enough to allow you to swing your legs out of the vehicle. Going back to the center console, we have two giant cup holders. Then it's got this big louvered cover. You just grab a little opening on it. Inside of it, my wife is hidden all of her paperwork because we literally just bought this car. Inside of here, there's also a power outlet and another auxiliary port for a USB that also charges at 2.5 amps. So going over to the passenger side glove box, this car is so brand new, it still has the little tag on it. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Inside of it, they give you your spare lug nuts. They come with locking lugs, so your key for your locking lug is inside of there. Passenger side doesn't look too much different than the driver's side. It has the same armrest as you would in a captain's chair, similar to the way the driver's side does. It's just on the other side for convenience because the car has armrest on the other side. One of the other interior features of this vehicle that I'm just going to have to walk through because there's no real way to like capture it even in the dark. The camera won't bring it to light very well. Because this is a trail sport, there is an accent light that is built into the opening mechanism for the door and into the storage cup underneath. There's also one that's down underneath the dash. It's the exact same way on the driver's side. And then in your cup holder, this little border edge here is an orange LED that lights up and lights up the cup holders. It also has similar accent lighting in the back and obviously on the driver's side. Looking at the back seat, you have the same orange baseball stitch appointed leather seats. This is a 60-40 split, and these actually move back and forth. There's a lever underneath that allows you to slide the seats forward or back depending on what you need. If you need more cargo room, one of the advantages is you can move this all the way into the up position. It actually increases the length of the back space by about another 6 inches. So in addition to being able to move the seats forward and back, if you hit this lever right here, it allows you to access the back of the car and gives you the fold down for the seat. It just helps you extend the back if you need more space. The other seat does the same thing and allows the compartment to move to full width of the vehicle. All right, so in the back there is your normal vents that you would have in the back of a vehicle. It's all controlled by the sync system in the front of the climate control setup. But the interesting thing about this is this also has vents that are down underneath that help blow low air from the air conditioning system. This one in particular, because it's the Trail Sport, has a rugged rubber rear mat for the seats, but there are two vent outlets to blow your heater out, have your heater blow out of there. There's also a regular 110 outlet plug in the back, and it has two charging ports in case the kids in the back want to charge their phones. You just put a USB plug into there and it will do whatever setup you got off of the USB plug. One of the convenience features that would come in pretty handy is having a shade that automatically draws in and out from the door. This lifts up and hooks in. Having a child the age that we have, this is going to get played with and will probably eventually get broken unless we constantly tell them to leave it alone. But having a shade in the back is actually a really convenient feature. And it just tucks right back into the door, and you grab this little tab and hook it on the hooks on the top, and it's set up. So going back to the bottom of the tailgate, there are your buttons in this little opening right here. If you hit one button on the right, it will lock the car. If you hit the button on the left, it will auto open the trunk. All right, so in the back, you have a pretty big cargo space. One of the fun features with this one is if you need to be able to extend the seats down, and because it's so far away to actually get to them, they don't have like a little thing to just release them from here. They have a fancy little button that you hit on the side. It unlocks the seats, and they drop down on both sides. Also in the back, you have a plastic cover. This is part of an upgrade package that for like mud flaps and stuff. They put this little plastic cover in here. This tucks out of the way. This, the underside, also lifts up, and you have a small storage compartment underneath that. Above that, if you lift this bit up, is where they actually have a spare tire, and then it also looks like it has a oil funnel built into the back of the car. There's also tons and tons of storage space inside of this, because you have a little thing here for like your jumper cables, and you can stash some other like store bags and stuff in there. There's two big cups on either side for storage space. And there's also on the driver's side another 12 volt outlet that you use like a cigarette lighter attachment if you need like a tire pump or something. This is an automatic door. You don't have to pull down on this handle. There's a little button right here. You hit that and the tailgate closes. As I mentioned multiple times, this is the Trailsport all-wheel drive edition. I believe that these exhaust tips are also part of the Trailsport package. Trailsport itself comes with a little bit more of a rugged tire, since this one's designed for a little bit more of an off-roady setup, especially being all-wheel drive. This one comes with 245 6018 Firestone destinations with a rugged sidewall and an 18-inch rim. The car also has the feature to lock the doors by the button on the outside, and then if you have the key in your pocket with you, all you have to do is reach into the inside and it unlocks the car for you. Here, this has the no cap necessary setup inside of it, because this is a more modern style. You literally just push the fuel thing into the opening, and it pushes the door out of the way and allows you to fuel the vehicle. So we picked this car up at a dealership up by us called Robertson Palmdale Honda. It may be changing its name soon because it recently changed hands. But the dealers over there were very, very helpful. We had one in particular that we worked with. It was great. If you're interested in getting one from there specifically, they do transactions over the internet as well. Let me know and I will send you our contacts for the dealer that we got it from. That is about as detailed as I could get with the all-new 2023 Honda Passport all-wheel drive Trailsport with the 3.5 liter. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comment field. We're always happy to answer anything that we can. Please make sure to subscribe to our channel. That's what keeps us making more videos. Thanks for watching.